Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of the Film Breakdown. I'm Nick Faribaugh. Not here with Derek this week. Scheduling conflicts unfortunately got to us a little bit this week, but I'm still here to break a little bit of tape down from the Browns game and previewing the Tennessee Titans. So let's get right into it. This is the Minka Fitzpatrick pick six. And why this is so important is because I believe Minka Fitzpatrick is going to be used in a very similar way against the Tennessee Titans. First of all, you can see they're in a too high look. It's a too high pre-snap look. And what's going to happen is you're going to get a quick slant against too high. That's more than often a pretty good route to at least hit, at least as a hot check. If you think a blitz is coming, that's a guy you're going to want to hit because usually that's open underneath in a cover two zone. The issue is the Steelers are going to mess with Baker Mayfield's eyes post snap. So instead of keeping Minka Fitzpatrick up here, they're actually going to roll him down. And what they did is they just made him a robber. So right at the last before the pre-snap, he rolls down. So it's cover one, and they roll him down to rob. So the middle of the field has been an area where they have employed Minka Fitzpatrick this year against the Texans and now against the Browns. In this robber role, they'll rotate him down post-snap, and it gets him right in the middle of the field where quarterbacks don't want to test him. And why that's so important is because, first off, you force harder throws to the boundary, up the post that are much more contested balls, right? So it's harder to get these balls out of the hashes. You're just giving them lower percentage throws, which is okay. You're not giving them quick and easy throws over the middle if they want to avoid Minka Fitzpatrick. Second, though, it puts Minka Fitzpatrick right in the middle of that defense. So if they do come and test him, he can get a pick or make a big play on it. He did this last week. I think they're going to do it a lot this week as well against the Tennessee Titans. The Titans love to attack the middle of the field, especially with the loss of Devin Bush. Minka Fitzpatrick can at least take some of that coverage woes off of that defense if Robert Spillane is not playing well in coverage or whatever. But I think you got to look at Minka Fitzpatrick in the middle of the field as a big, big weapon for the Steelers this Sunday. All right, so let's talk a little bit about Matt Canada's jet motion series because I think it's been a real help to the Steelers' offense, especially their running game. What was once a running game that needed push up front, had no window dressing, no real creativity to it. Now we have a lot of creativity that is holding linebackers and forcing defenders to respect this motion. Let me play this play for you because I think it's only about an 8-yard gain, but it's so good. So you get Ray McLeod from the other side in the jet motion. Just watch 51 and 29. Watch them actually shift with the motion, and then look at the D-line. They slant with it. You can see teams are respecting that motion. Everyone goes the other way other than 93, and that's an easy block for Alejandro Villanueva. You get a one-on-one match for him at the second level. Everyone is slanting upfield towards the motion, and that's why this has been so effective. The jet sweeps have been great. And off this counter series, they've run counter a lot. I mean, this is something that they love to run this year. They run counter a good 4 or 5 times a game, and it's working every time because they have the threat of that jet sweep to go along with it and really disguise the puller. This disguises Chukwuekoror for because everyone else is slanting the other way. And it's a great, great, great design by Matt Canada. It's a little flair that the Steelers badly needed in their running game. And it's showing up big time. That's why they've gotten a 100-yard rusher in 4 out of their 5 games. All right, so now let's talk a little bit about the Tennessee Titans. So they have a game and an offense that is mainly built off of the play-action game, and they like to do it a lot with their tight ends and go heavy. As you can see, there's only one wide receiver here. Only one. You got a very heavy personnel. You have at least 3 tight ends in here. Plus, you have a fullback. So it's very, very heavy personnel. But they're actually going to hit A.J. Brown here and let Jonnu Smith, who is their athletic tight end, right here, really work up the seam as almost a clear out. So this is exactly the threat of Ryan Tannehill and this offense. You get to see everything through man coverage because Derrick Henry is such a huge threat. And watch the linebackers just bite down on it. Derrick Henry's such a big threat that the play action game with Ryan Tannehill is so efficient for this offense. These linebackers come working downhill, and A.J. Brown just sneaks right behind them. I mean, it really is quite a deadly, deadly combination when you look at it. Nothing that the Steelers can do is going to 100% shut down this Titans play action game. It's maybe the best play action game in the NFL. You can see it's only a two-man route combination, but the run just vacates the entire middle of the field. Every linebacker hits on their zones. So this is a play action team that is very potent, even out of personnel like this, where you wouldn't usually expect. That's heavy personnel, and they'll still come out and throw it deep down the field in the intermediate and the deep ball over the middle of the field. And Ryan Tannehill has been great this year. Efficient thrower, very accurate football player. He's a guy that gets it out very quickly. But this is everything if you're a Titans fan. I mean, this is your bread and butter. The Steelers are going to have to figure out a way to stop it without letting Derrick Henry go crazy all over them all game. But they cannot allow this to happen all game because this is a threat of those tight ends, first off, as he clears them out to the deep boundary. He really helps open up this combination to A.J. Brown over the middle of the field, Jonnu Smith does, and also somehow stop Derrick Henry while doing all of that. All right, last play here. Let's talk a little bit about the Titans running game. So Derrick Henry is a real big dude, but he's not just power. He's not just the guy that's going to run you over. Certainly he can stiff arm you. Josh Norman knew that 2 weeks ago. He learned that very hard. But he's also a guy that has burst quickness and pretty good speed generally. I mean, really, this guy's an all-around encompassing threat as a running back. He's a very, very good running back. And what they do is, in the running game, they won't just give you Derrick Henry and smash it down your throat. Yes, they are a physical team, but Arthur Smith likes to do a lot of candy stuff, not just pre-snap, but at the snap too. This is really an interesting play that I saw from these Titans. I thought they looked really good in the running game against the Houston Texans. And you're going to see this. It's a split zone run. First of all, Derrick Henry makes two really nice lateral cuts. You can see him processing the line, reading it all, and then hitting the hole. That's a really good job by Derrick Henry as a running back to see with vision. But watch 87. Watch 87 here. This is what we call a flare motion. He's going to flare out like he's going to go out for a pass route. And what it does is, if you watch these two, it freezes them. It freezes them, takes the backside safety out of the play, and all of a sudden, you have wide open lanes now. You are outmanned if you're the Houston Texans. Everyone gets their blocks downhill. And all it takes is a really good run by Derrick Henry. That flare motion is really nice. And it's the play action game now setting up the run because that could have easily been a play action pass. And it's those two that just go together and work around each other to make such a dangerous offense for the Tennessee Titans. Beautiful, beautiful job by OC Arthur Smith and a great job by the line up front. This will not be an easy game for the Pittsburgh Steelers to win.